Hey Collective, welcome back. I hope you're having a good day today. So, you feel it in the quiet moments, don't you? That constant draining sense of unease in your relationship. It's not about loud fights or some dramatic betrayal. It's a silent weight. You can't quite put your finger on why you feel so lonely, even when you're together. But you know something is fundamentally wrong. If this sounds familiar, it's probably because you're seeing the subtle, soul-crushing signs your relationship is over. It's a strange and painful place to be, adrift in a relationship. You're not always fighting, but the connection that once felt so alive now feels hollowed out, an empty room you used to live in. So many people stay in this state for months, even years, because the signs aren't big explosions. They're quiet corrosions, like a series of small emotional paper cuts that eventually leave the relationship bleeding out. This video is from my own personal experience, and for anyone who feels that slow drain but can't quite name it. Today, we're going to give it a name. We're moving from confusion to clarity by breaking down the 7 subtle signs that a partnership has run its course. And stick around to the end, because knowing the signs is only half the battle. The other half is knowing what to do next. Sign number 1. Contempt is greater than kindness. The first and most destructive sign is contempt. Renowned relationship researcher Dr. John Gottman calls this the single greatest predictor of divorce, and for good reason. Contempt isn't just being mad or annoyed. Anger can be healthy. I don't care what anybody says. It means you still care. Contempt is something far more corrosive. It's the deep down belief that you are superior to your partner. So what does contempt actually look like? Well, from my experience, it's the sarcasm, the mockery, the eye-rolling, sneering, and it's laughing at your partner, not with them when they share an idea. It's that dismissive wave of the hand when they try to express a feeling. It's looking at them with disgust when they do something you don't like. These actions all send the same message. You're beneath me. Your feelings don't matter. You're an idiot. A relationship can survive arguments. It cannot survive a persistent lack of respect. Contempt poisons the very foundation of a partnership because it attacks a person's sense of self and makes emotional safety impossible. So here's what I want you to do. Next time you and your partner disagree, ask yourself, does it feel like 2 people trying to solve a problem? Or does it feel like one of you is trying to win by belittling the other? If it's the latter, contempt has taken root. Sign number 2. Emotional indifference is the new norm. Even more dangerous than fighting is when you stop fighting altogether. This brings us to the second sign, emotional indifference. This is when one or both of you have become so detached that you just don't have the energy to argue anymore. It's a state of apathy where you simply don't care enough to engage. Conversations become purely transactional, revolving only around logistics like bills, chores, and schedules. There's no curiosity, no depth, and no real interest in each other's inner world. You might be in the same room, but you feel worlds apart. You know the look. They might politely nod while you're talking, but their eyes are vacant, or they immediately turn back to their phone, signaling that your thoughts aren't worth their full attention. Indifference is what's left when one person has tried to communicate their needs and has been met with silence so many times that they just give up. It's the result of being emotionally depleted. It's a quiet, cold goodbye that happens long before anyone packs a bag. This isn't about needing a quiet evening after a long day. This is a persistent pattern of disengagement. Think about the last time you shared good news. Was your partner the first person you wanted to tell? And if they were, did they truly share in your joy? Or did you just get a superficial, "that's nice," before they changed the subject? If you no longer affect each other emotionally, it's a sign that the connection has been severed. Sign number 3, you're no longer a team. Healthy relationships are built on a sense of we, You're a team, navigating life's challenges and celebrating its wins together. The third sign that your relationship is silently over is when that team dynamic dissolves, replaced by a sense of competition, or even worse, two individuals just living parallel lives. You stop acting like partners and start acting more like roommates, or even opponents. And you'll see this pop up everywhere. Instead of celebrating each other's successes, there's a hint of jealousy or resentment. Instead of supporting each other through failures, there's blame or an I told you so attitude. When you make decisions, you mostly think about how it will affect me, not us. There's a distinct lack of mutual support. You don't feel like your partner has your back, and you might not want to have theirs because of it. Arguments are no longer about finding a solution. They're about winning. Every disagreement becomes a power struggle, a chance to prove who's right and who's wrong. This is incredibly damaging because it means you're no longer working toward a shared goal. Ask yourself this: when you face a problem or a project, is your first instinct to turn toward your partner to tackle it together, or do you turn away, expecting to handle it alone? This is a huge red flag. If you feel like you're constantly playing defense against your number one ally, then the team has already disbanded. Sign number 4, conversations about the future have vanished. One of the most telling yet often overlooked signs is the total absence of future-oriented conversations. Couples who are connected naturally talk about the future. It doesn't have to be about marriage or kids if that's not where you are yet, but it can be as simple as planning a vacation for next summer or dreaming about a house project you want to tackle together. These conversations are the threads that weave your lives together over time. But when you stop spinning threads, it's a massive red flag. If you and your partner avoid any topic that extends beyond the current week, it suggests that on a subconscious level, you don't actually see a future together. The idea of making long-term plans might even bring up a feeling of anxiety because it feels fake. It's a form of psychological disengagement. You're creating mental distance from your partner long before you physically leave. This silence is profound. It means you've stopped investing in the shared story of your lives. A relationship without a shared future is a relationship living on borrowed time with an expiration date that just hasn't been spoken out loud. If you try to bring up a future plan and your partner gets vague, changes the subject, or gives a non-committal answer, they're showing you they're no longer invested in building a life with you. If these signs are bringing some clarity to that feeling of unease, please like and subscribe. It really helps me create more content to support you on your journey towards healthier relationships and personal happiness. Okay, sign number 5. You feel deeply lonely in their presence. This might be the most painful and confusing sign of all. Feeling a profound sense of loneliness, even when you're physically with your partner. Loneliness isn't about being alone. It's about a lack of connection. You can be sitting on the couch right next to your partner and feel a crushing sense of isolation because you feel unseen and unheard. This feeling comes up when your emotional needs are consistently unmet. You share a space, but you don't share intimacy. You talk, but you don't communicate. You might be longing for a moment of genuine connection, but it never comes. This leaves you feeling invisible, like you're a ghost in your own home. The person who's supposed to be your closest friend and confidant feels like a stranger. This kind of loneliness can be even more painful than being single because it's a constant, in-your-face reminder of what you're missing. The gap between the intimacy you crave and the reality that you're living in feels huge and unbridgeable. If spending time with your partner leaves you feeling more alone than when you're by yourself, it's a powerful signal that the core of your relationship has withered away. Sign number 6. Effort is completely one-sided. This one is the one. Listen, a relationship is a living, breathing thing, and it needs effort from both people to stay healthy. The 6th sign is when that effort becomes dangerously lopsided. One person is doing all the work, You're the one initiating every real conversation, planning all the dates, bringing up issues, and trying to solve them. You're carrying the entire emotional and logistical weight of the relationship. This isn't about temporary phases where one partner is stressed and needs a little bit more support. This is a chronic pattern where one person has basically checked out, leaving the other to do all the maintenance. You might feel constantly drained by the relationship rather than energized by it. You find yourself making excuses for your partner's lack of effort, telling yourself they're just busy or tired. But deep down, you know that if you stopped putting in all that work, the relationship would simply collapse. The truth is, this imbalance is 100% unsustainable. Trust me. It breeds resentment, frustration, and burnout. A partnership where one person gives and the other only takes isn't a partnership. It's an emotional drain. It shows a fundamental lack of investment from the passive partner. If you feel like you're constantly pushing a boulder uphill by yourself, it's not a sign that you need to push harder. It's a sign that you need to step out of the way because you're the only one in the race. Sign number 7. The thought of leaving brings you relief. The final sign is your own emotional reaction to the thought of the relationship ending. In a healthy partnership, the idea of a breakup is heartbreaking. But when a relationship is silently over, the thought of leaving often brings a surprising feeling: relief. If you find yourself daydreaming about being single, not to be with other people, but just to be free from the constant games, tension, loneliness, and exhaustion, that is a powerful message from your subconscious. Relief is your nervous system telling you that the relationship has become a source of chronic stress rather than a source of safety and joy. It's a sign that you're tired of performing, of trying, of hoping for change that never comes. Feeling relief doesn't make you a bad person. That's a tough lesson that you'll learn. It doesn't cancel out the love you once had for this person, even if they didn't reciprocate. It simply means you recognize on a gut level that the relationship is no longer good for your well-being. And someone has to care about your well-being. When being alone sounds more peaceful than being with your partner, it's the clearest sign that the relationship is over in all the ways that truly matter. So there you have it. Contempt, indifference, a broken team, no shared future, deep loneliness, one-sided effort, and relief at the thought of it ending. Seeing these signs laid out can feel heavy, but this clarity is the first step towards change. Recognizing that these patterns aren't just a rough patch, but signs of fundamentally broken partnership is an act of profound self-awareness and self-care. So what's the first step that you can actually take? Don't fight. Don't explain yourself again. Make a plan, get your ducks in a row, and just leave. Once you're free and settled, you need to acknowledge and grieve. You have to give yourself permission to feel everything that comes with this kind of ending without judgment. Grieve the future you thought you'd have. Acknowledge the sadness, the anger, and the deep disappointment. People who allow themselves to actually feel their emotions without suppressing them recover and adjust more quickly. This isn't about wallowing. It's about honoring your experience and extracting every single lesson you can from it. You didn't endure for nothing. The lessons learned are priceless. Your happiness and well-being deserve to be a priority. You deserve a relationship where you feel seen, respected, and truly cherished, if that's what you want. Or to be at peace in a house that smells good, stays clean, and no one to answer to but your damn self. I truly wish that for you, and I hope that you find it. And until next time, friends, keep healing. See ya.